Hi guys, this is Tony here from Metal Roos. You're about to sit down and enjoy an interview I just did um, over there. And so do like and subscribe so you can get all this straight into your streaming and into your consciousness as soon as it arrives. So enjoy the interview, and I will. Over to you, Tony.
Friend.
Well, welcome. Finally, you get to chat. How's life?
Yes, life is so great. It's almost noon, and it's maybe something you would call the first summer day, which is it's still spring, but it feels like it. You caught me in a lovely place.
Lovely, because we're heading into our colder climates now.
Definitely.
Here in
So, what kind of weather is where you at?
I'm in Canberra, which is the capital, and it can get very cold here.
Okay, okay,
You're going to be going to much more warmer places like Perth and Sydney, so
yeah,
you'll be all right.
great.
So, is this the first time you're going to be coming over?
This is the second
Second
time
time.
in 25 years. We were
Wow.
visiting in 90 or 91 and not really touring, just we did some press, and then I don't know what happened, but we never really got to tour. So we've been scratching at the door of Australia for 25 years, and it's not even a joke. It's the sad truth. But at last you let us in 2 years ago, and it was like a major love explosion.
Wonderful.
Um, so we're, so we're back again with a new album, of course.
Yes.
Even though that people know us from the early albums, I think that I don't know. It seems like the Australians, maybe just for talking with journalists, I don't know, but it
Mm.
seems like people are trying to be up to date with D.A.D, and it feels like they refer to the new songs just as much as the old songs. So
Yeah.
we hope we can get away with playing, 4 or 5 of the new songs.
Oh, you will do. I think because, like you said, it's been a long time between drinks. So
Yeah,
I think your fan base will just love whatever you bring them, to be
exactly.
honest.
That's a thing. And that, but as an artist, you always try to throw some lines in the water. Are they biting on the new stuff?
Mm. Of course, of course. Well, of course. I mean,
Yeah,
you've
yeah,
been going some time now. I've had some really big
yes,
hits. Like your first
yeah.
album, No Fuel, Left
Mm.
for the Pilgrims. I mean, that was some time ago now,
Yeah.
and still it holds its relevance when you play it.
It has some kind of relevance still, and we're gonna play.
Mm.
Sorry, we're gonna play more than a handful of that from that album. Maybe a couple of songs more than we usually play, to accommodate because we just want to it's celebrate that we are among fans. But the thing is, there's a lot of it's true. It's diehard fans that shows
Mm.
up for these things, and to be able to accommodate, so they also feel like relevant, or they also feel like it's not just a museum. Um, so that's like that's a balance. But we're going. I'm going out now to rehearse with the guys,
Fantastic.
and we're gonna do the set list today. So we're gonna throw in some a little more than usual of the no fuel, and then we're gonna try to make a big thing about everything else, just to accommodate.
I suppose you'll be doing the big singles like Sleeping My Day Away and things like that. I suppose they're the things that the fans will want to hear.
Definitely, we're
Yeah.
we're not getting away without playing a handful of songs. But
Mm.
then, but we've got like 5 songs that we love to play, but we also need to play, and then there's freedom, just a lot of freedom after that.
I mean, you're well known for your crazy stage antics. You have a lot of power and energy and have a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing you bring that here. That's going to be a wondrous thing to see.
I mean, we love play live still. It's like we're fish in water. It's a I don't know what happens, but rock club settings like we're playing in Australia
Mm.
always makes me I it feels more like freedom to me. So I mean, even the stupidest jokes will be aired,
Yeah.
and
Brilliant. I mean, you get that. I mean, suppose here particularly, the more intimate shows, you get a more you get you're used to some big festivals and things. When you get the small
Mm,
shows, you get the immediacy from the audience, don't you? You get that immediate energy, shake of hands.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also there's no you don't there's nothing really to prove in that sense other than have a good time, and that always turns out to be something much more worthwhile than the big shows.
Mm.
Of course, big shows are great, events are great, and stuff like that it's beautiful. But the small shows is actually where where the where the bullets are being made, so to speak.
Oh
It's like
yes.
this is where you get to know what you're doing, who you are, and what your audience is. And so it's a more true setting. And we grew up in the punk. We're just a punk
Mm.
band, in reality. So 300 people is what we aimed for when we started out. 500 people is like a big show.
Well, and look at you now, like you've got your own exhibition in the Dutch in the museum. There's a whole exhibition for
Exactly.
you.
Yeah, it's crazy, but you really don't leave that place of punk rock of you don't leave that place of I don't know rock and roll freedom. That's I think it's very important to grab onto that because if when when you getting too into I mean the set list is the same every night. The
Yeah.
lights, blah, blah, and I love it when you do something and you strive for perfection, and I love it when you really work towards a goal. But the freedom to play for 500, 600 people, it's perfect to me. It's a, I mean,
Wait,
and maybe I'm the only one in the band that really enjoys that because my brother, it can't be big enough. He just wants,
oh.
yeah, he wants to the hot air, pump up the hot air. I,
Yeah, get the fans going. That's it.
exactly, yeah.
But I think though that's I think what the heart of I actually never thought about it the heart of your music being punk rock because it does have that
Yeah,
that chaos and energy
yeah.
that
I
flows
mean,
through
of
it.
course, we're not really playing, but playing punk rock anymore. But that's how we started out.
Mm,
That's how we got together, and that's I mean, things that happened in New York in '77.
yes.
That's where D.A.D. more or less is born, and that's including Gender Bender and New York Dolls and all that stuff. So
Uh,
that kind of where you are a bit against society, up against society. That's a bit. I mean, and that's where a lot of that's where you, yeah, that's where a lot of artists. When you're an artist, you need
mm.
a wall to bang your head into, and that was our wall.
Yeah, I mean it's I love it because it has that real sort of like you said that sort of Johnny Thunders
Exactly,
Gibson dirt which I love that real sort of
exactly.
dive of a rock and roll club sound
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you can't really make that on a bit I mean I know your brother likes it but it's difficult to portray that on a huge stage.
Exactly, and I think that the whole skill of being a rock and roll entertainer is definitely good, and I love it, and I'm all for it. But the first concert we saw was Gun Club, Ramones, Johnny
Oof.
Thunders, and all that stuff. That's what we're brought up on. So that the older you get, the more you see towards okay, when was I really excited? And that
Wow.
was that whole New York scene. And we are almost old enough to have experienced it.
Well, I mean the band's been going was it 40 years am I imagining that date or is that correct?
It's correct.
Yeah.
40 motherfucking years.
And the band turns 40, right? That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's a little too much. But on the other hand, if people don't mention it too much, it's
No,
okay. It's
yeah,
okay with
yeah,
us. We are
yeah. Yeah, it's like right. The grey hair means nothing. It's okay. We're not
yeah,
40.
exactly. Yeah, don't look, just listen. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's a great thing. It's a privilege to be able to put stone on stone on stone on your career, your own career, and it's
Mm.
so funny to have a history to dive into, and it's it's a big social experiment to be able to have some kind of loyalty and respect for each other for after all those years. That's like that's a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing some interesting dates. We're starting in Perth on the 20th of May.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I keep saying this to bands recently. A lot of bands are starting through Perth. It's a really wonderful thing to do because they're quite remote. If you've ever been there before,
Yes,
it's very they're kind of starved as an audience. I mean that in the nicest way because it's very remote.
yeah, yeah.
So they're gonna love every sound that you make, every second because
Exactly.
they
That's
don't
and
get it.
we were in Perth for the first time 2 years ago. First time we visited Australia, and it was like, and that was like in the end of the tour. But that's the cliche. No, no, the thing about Australia, the dangerous nature. You don't feel that or see that
Nah.
either in Sydney or in Melbourne. But in Perth, the outback is going straight into the city and out in the sea. It's like, oh, okay, now we're here. Okay,
Yeah,
now I see what you're talking about.
yeah.
And there's a Wild West feeling that is which is just great, to be honest. And
Yeah,
I'm so happy to be, and we're gonna be there a couple of days beforehand,
wonderful.
just to say hello to Bon Scott and just to see what's happening.
Yeah, look, and that's the way to do it. It's the most remote capital city in the world, right? It's a
Uh,
really, really
yeah,
remote place, and it's so
yeah,
beautiful. But you're also going to do Brisbane and Sydney and Melbourne, so you're going to see
yeah,
all of the different venues. I mean, Australian audiences are very much like a European audience, like very much like a British audience. That
yeah.
kind of sense of
Exactly,
humor, they
exactly.
get that kind of
Yeah,
that sort of sense of humor which you guys bring
exactly.
in spades.
Yeah, definitely. You're right, and we feel quite at home, and we feel that the dialogue is rolling along, whereas it's not like a a stale thing. It's definitely fits our kind of humor. So
Yeah.
that's great.
I mean, how do you feel like, there you are, kids playing this punk rock music, and then suddenly
Hmm.
40 years later you're playing in Australia. It's a what a would you have ever even thought that you would be playing in countries like this?
Def Definitely not. I mean, this is. I mean, we started out as skateboarders, and
Mm.
we knew from skateboarding and the Thrasher Mag and the skateboarding magazine that there were pockets of like-minded people all over the world. So we knew there were skateboarders in Buenos Aires. We knew there were skateboarders in Greenland. We knew there were skateboarders all over the place, South Africa and Australia. So before we even started to delve into music, we knew that there was a pockets of how do you say parallel cultures
Mm.
around the world. So that feeling has been with us ever since. So when we play music, we knew that there were people out there that would love what we're doing. The problem is, of course, if you aim to play for 300 or 400 people, there's not really any economy in it.
No, that's
So
right.
so, so but we knew there would be souls out there that would be thankful for what we were bringing. Maybe not many, but we knew they were there. So that's what skateboarding taught us, and that's definitely been a part of our upbringing in that whole sense. It's not starting out in punk rock. You know you're never gonna be ending up in an arena. You know that you will forever be playing the same amount of people as Ramones did. I mean, Ramones is the pinnacle of world stardom for me, and they played like 800 people
Yeah, maximum. Yeah,
capacity. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So that's how we're brought up. So everything above that is bonus, bonus, and bonus. Of course, there's a little bit of a responsibility to put on big shows, and I really, really love that there's not much responsibility to play rock shows. I mean, it's pure fun. It's only pure fun,
Brilliant.
and that's the best thing. And that's what I'm looking for.
But it keeps you young, right? I mean, you write,
Definitely.
yeah. I mean, you write as a band some really, fantastic, memorable tunes. Jihad and
Thank
things like
you.
that. It's not, they're
Yeah,
not, yeah. I mean, for a band, like you said, a small band from who played skate music and punk music, you do write some
yeah.
very educated and intelligently crafted music.
Oh, thank you so much, sir.
Mm. you know.
We definitely try, and and you know the a lot of the joy and self-respect comes from when you're actually putting the work in. So and because we've been so lucky to be able to, I don't know, it's the 13th or the 14th album, but and it's not really that, it doesn't really matter if you love to be in the rehearsal space, you love to compose, you love to do that, the groundwork.
Mm,
Then suddenly 40 years passes, and you're just, wow, what happened? It's just keeping your nose in the grind, and try to better yourself, and try to, to work with what's going on around you, so you still have some kind of relevance. Or and then of course, which is maybe the most important part of it, is that you have to evolve. So a couple of times we shed our skin and become someone else, a new band, which is not possible because you're just you,
mm.
and your skills and your talent. But just as a mental thing, just try to throw like Phoenix, throw everything out, and let's see what happens if we do it again. And we've been forced to it a couple of times because times have changed, and we've done it more or less intentional a couple of times as well.
Mm. I mean that well, that's true because your catalog is it has a DNA that runs through it. There'll always be
Yeah,
your music,
yeah,
but it does have its but you have to as artists, surely. If you did the same sound for 40 years, where are you going to go? You would have no
exactly,
passion or soul to it.
exactly.
It'd just be reproducing the same thing over and over and over.
Exactly,
And
and finding one of the reasons I stuck to it for 40 years, is that it's like a diary. It's a way to get to know yourself through
mm,
the lyrics and through being an artist, and like uh, that's a big question. I mean, in every artist, who am I? What am I? What the fuck am I doing? Okay, let's see what I'm doing by doing it. So you need to have yourself into it. So if 5 years have passed, it's impossible to make the same album. I mean,
yeah,
you're a new person, so you have to try to, and that has been like a big thing for us, to be able to forget, because sometimes some kind of automation always sets in. Some kind of okay, this is what we used to do, and everybody says that we need to make Sleep My Day Away #2, but you
oh
can't really. It's impossible. It's
no,
impossible. You need Sleep My Day Away was made with because we had fingers in our own navels and up our own ass so high and so deep that there was definitely something about us. That was us, and you need to do that all the time. So the only way to do that is to just sing a song about exactly who you are at the moment. And we are definitely not the guys that are sleeping our days away. Now we just don't sleep.
yeah, yeah. Well, look, but you're right though. I mean, again, you can't keep making the same thing. It would be really the fans want more than just that. You know, like I
Exactly.
when I go and listen to your albums, and I've listened to nearly all of them. When you
Yeah.
listen to them, like this new one, I really like, by the way, has a real nice
Thank you.
modern
Thank
production
you.
to it.
Yeah.
But when you go, you want as a fan, when I listen to your music, I want to hear the journey. I like the journey.
Exactly. Exactly.
We want that journey.
Exactly. And you know what? You're totally right. And I
Yeah.
think it's a privilege. It's a privilege to be an audience to that journey. That's what I've got with the artists that I really admire. I feel
Mm.
it's a privilege. And I feel that it's like, if you okay, Bob Dylan's made 50 albums. I mean, it's a never ending
Yeah.
traveling into to who he is and what's happening. And I love it, and I think it's a privilege. And I think as an artist, you're right, that's what you actually that's your biggest thing, to be able to describe the journey. You're right, sir. You're right,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you.
No, I agree. You want to be there because you're right. When you love a band, as much as we all love your band or bands we all
Mm,
love, you do what if you think to yourself, hey, if they're just doing the same thing, I'm not going on a journey. I'll go somewhere else.
exactly. Exactly.
I want to be almost part of your life in a weird way in the lyric and in the
Exactly.
music, just for that
Exactly.
short
Exactly.
43 minutes that the
Exactly.
record is
Exactly.
on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. You're
I,
right, sir.
mm. And I think that the audiences here will absolutely love you. I'm sure it'll be a mix of expats and Australians and all sorts of people at your shows.
Exactly. There's always like a Danish family somewhere in the audience that,
Yeah.
at the one point have enough pints of beer to shout out something in Danish and giggle.
Well, it's a beautiful language. It's an ancient language. So,
Yeah, well, yeah, you can say that. It's hard for the throat, but yeah, I understand.
have you ever thought of doing a full, like just doing a whole, I mean, when you play in your home country, do you play in your native tongue or do you,
Definitely not. Of course, the banter between songs is, of course, in Danish,
yeah.
but we've never written a Danish song. I've very seldom contributed to anything in Danish, uh, and it goes straight back to our roots in punk rock because
Mm,
punk rock was definitely invented in English. So it's like that's our language in that sense. We're part of that culture. Not saying that you can't do it in Danish, but and over the years we have a big audience outside of Denmark, and that would be a disaster which suddenly turned into Danish. I think that I mean we're old guys, and it's an old for us. For me, it's maybe an old culture. I mean, it's
mm,
rock and roll is 70 years old. I
mm,
think that it's that's our language, and we want to communicate. We want to, as I told you about
mm.
the skateboarding thing,
Yeah.
we feel that we've got parallel realities out there in the world. So we want to talk and connect with these guys.
Wonderful. And again, I think that's commendable that you have this. This is your mission statement. This is what we're
Yeah,
doing, and
yeah,
sticking by it.
yeah,
Because there's a lot of bands out there that do tend to follow that trend. Good on them, I
exactly.
suppose. But if
Yeah,
you know your market, man, that's the key.
yeah, yeah. It is, and we've got this totally. I mean, you're so lucky that we have this local home market. That means that we are in close dialogue all the time, but also be happy to be this normal struggling rock and roll band outside of Denmark.
Yeah.
And it's like it feeds off each other perfectly because we've got a little. Our nervous system is calm because of the Danish people's love, and our creativity
Hmm.
is still the sky's the limit because we still have fans outside of Denmark. So I love the combination, and I only recently found out that this combination is actually very special because a lot of bands have like a local home community thing, which is
Mm.
great, but we have like Scandinavia, which is and they are into rock and roll in our sense and our way of. I mean, it's beautiful.
Oh yeah, I think you're very lucky, and we're very privileged and proud to have you coming over. I
Thank
really
you.
look forward to seeing you, hopefully in Sydney. I hope that it all goes off crazy for you. Thanks,
Yes,
thanks for the chat. I hope the new album, does really well and the tickets sell well.
thank you.
Because
So how about so you're in Canberra, so you're
yeah,
not coming out?
I might do. It's only a 3 hour drive.
Come on.
Yeah, it's only a 3 hour drive.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They've got good pizzas everywhere, so it doesn't
yeah.
matter where you are.
It doesn't matter where you are, exactly, and cold beer. So
Exactly, exactly. Yeah.
it's not as good as a Danish beer, but it is all right.
I tell you, there's a lot of beers that are better than the Danish beer. Don't worry, and I know.
Yeah, you've traveled the world, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, man. Thanks. Well, good luck with your rehearsals.
Thank you so much, sir.
Safe trip over,
And
and
I hope to see you.
yeah, definitely, and enjoy Perth because you're gonna love you out there. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
I'm looking forward to it.
stay away from the wildlife.
Exactly. All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, bye, mate.
I hope to see you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Bye
definitely.
bye.
Bye, bye.